The brain is essentially a pattern matching machine for survival, and these patterns can be added to and updated all of the time. So we have some innate patterns that are built in right from the start, but then we build on that and it gets more complex as time goes on. And this process of updating all these patterns happens all of the time. So if you have a phobia, you can see something which can set off a feeling of fear. And that feeling of fear comes from deeper within you than it comes before you think about it. So some people in some therapeutic communities, even in cognitive behavioral therapy, think that the thinking happens first, but it doesn't. Everything comes from deeper within you, and then the thinking is the last thing to happen. So the most primitive element of your brain is this pattern matching element, especially some specific areas like your amygdala. So an external stimulus, say you had a fear of spiders, or say you had a fear of snakes. The external stimulus of seeing something on the ground that could be a snake will trigger a feeling of fear, and then it will trigger thoughts of relating to the fear and words in your mind, perhaps saying, "Oh my God, there's a snake." And then you'll analyse it and perhaps see that it was just a twig. If you had to look at something, analyse it, and then say, try and consciously work out what you're seeing before you felt fear, you'd probably be dead. So the idea is that the pattern matching part of your brain is the deepest part of your brain, especially of the innate things like fight or flight patterns. It needs to be deep and innate because you need to be able to respond to the environment faster than you can be thinking about the environment. You need your reflexes to be quicker than thought. So many problems that people go to therapy with are problems that are linked directly to the parts of the brain associated with these survival patterns, associated with patterns that don't involve thought for them to happen. So the person can consciously think, "I wish I wasn't scared of this," or "It's not logical or sensible to be scared of this." But because the pattern doesn't come from that thought level, it comes from deeper in the brain, it's like, trying to stop something like a shaken up bottle of champagne. It's like trying to put the cork back in the bottle after it's shaken up, rather than stopping the bottle being shaken up in the first place. So things like hypnosis work by addressing the deeper rooted part of the pattern, which then stops the thought even happening. So you don't get someone that's anxious who thinks happy thoughts while they're anxious. So the brain is essentially a pattern matching machine, and hypnosis is the process of accessing that pattern matching part of the brain. And the state that people call hypnosis, if we want to call it a state for now, is the optimal learning state. It's that state of mind where the patterns are accessed and being able to be updated. But hypnotic techniques themselves can be used towards any trance state at all, not just hypnosis trance state. And that's where obviously conversational hypnosis can come in, because sometimes it isn't so much about guiding someone into a hypnotic trance. Perhaps a client needs to be guided towards a happiness trance or some other kind of positive state of mind. And that might be what you're focusing on, guiding them towards, instead of hypnosis as such.